Okay, so what is a case study? A case study is an expository essay that includes the background information on a relevant topic, an important topic, and an analysis of a specific case under the study process. It is an essay that analyzes a case study to identify the major problem or problems that exist or exists and to suggest solutions. It could be about a person, a place, or a specific situation. For example, it could be about a person who is addicted to online games and would play for 12 or 13 hours straight. It could be about a city that is affected by too much air pollution, like Beijing or Beirut. It could be about a dam, a place where water is stored to produce energy, that is destroying an ecosystem. You hear a lot in Lebanon nowadays about the dam of Bisri. You can make a case study about that. What are the issues regarding it? Why are people protesting? Suggesting possible solutions. What's been done about it? You could, for example, make a case study about a certain haunted house on a hill in an abandoned town, for example. A depressed person, etc. So as you note, it's one specific case. It could be in any field. It could be in psychology. Maybe you could be talking about mental issues. Let's take, for example, a housewife who is overstressed and then resorts to alcoholism or resorts to taking painkillers, etc. It could be about a new medicine that people are working on. It could be about a specific company that is coming up with a new vaccine for COVID, for example. You are discussing that specific company, what it is doing, what are the prospects for the future, etc. The environment, as we talked about, for example, the environment in Beirut, or what's happening to the ecosystem of rivers in Lebanon, to the ecosystem of the Mediterranean Sea that is on our side in Lebanon, something related to sociology, something related to business, what happened to the banking sector in Lebanon, the causes and effects of this downfall of the banking sector of Lebanon. Technology, you could be discussing the specific case of a robot that is now being used in a certain hospital in the US, etc. So the case study is generally made of 5 paragraphs, as we know from last year. All our essays, whether they are expository, whether they are persuasive or argumentative, need to be 5 paragraphs. How are they organized? First of all, you have the introduction. Obviously, in the introduction, you always need a hook, okay? An attention grabber, which is usually the first sentence or two. A lead, background information, and then your thesis. Follow the same method as other expository essays. But the difference in a case study, please do not talk about the case itself in your thesis. For example, let's say I'm talking about Samer, who is addicted to PUBG and would play for 13 hours or 14 hours straight. Now I would start with a hook. Did you know that more than 75% of adolescents are now hooked to a certain social media app or an online game? Okay, and then I will give background information about this phenomena that is widespread. And in the thesis, I will not discuss Samer at all. I will say this phenomena, this widespread phenomena has several devastating effects on teens, for example. I have set the background, I have given a thesis for the main idea of my topic, but I did not mention the case itself. Okay, this is where it's a bit different. We do not mention the case in the introduction. Where do we mention the case? Okay, in the first body paragraph. You give the case's profile, you present the problem, its causes, its dimensions, etc. Body paragraph 2 the effects. How did this online gaming addiction affect Samir? Or how did taking too many painkillers affect this housewife, etc.? Or how is dumping industrial wastes in the Litani River affected? Body paragraph 3. What was done about it? What was done to solve the issue, if anything? How did it end? How was it resolved? Okay, very simple. In the conclusion, like in any conclusion, you restate your thesis without, you don't mention the case specifically, you just restate your thesis, final thoughts, advice, call for action or recommendations, etc., like we do in any type of essay. Now, I'm going to give you a case study writing model, and this is what you're going to follow when you write your own case study. Now, the case of the Litani River in Lebanon. One of the most profound forms of pollution is the rampant and systematic contamination of water bodies due to careless human activities that do not take into consideration that water is the source of life. Notice the hook. I'm trying to grab the reader's attention as to how profound or severe this issue is. Lebanon is no stranger to this type of pollution, and in the absence of serious government surveillance, there's no supervision by the government, and punishment, there's no punishment, people go about polluting the country's water sources as if they were of no value. Rivers, long considered Lebanon's precious white fuel, are especially prone to this phenomenon. See the thesis? Okay, because the main idea is about the pollution of rivers in Lebanon, but I did not present the case yet. Now, I present my case, the Litani River. So obviously, my case is the pollution in the Litani River. The Litani River is considered an essential fresh water source for huge areas of Lebanon, starting from the Bekaa Valley and going all the way to the south, providing these areas with sweet water for sectors such as agriculture. However, this river has come under the microscope in recent years due to the obviously visible contamination that it is being subjected to. So it is so profound that it is visible. You can see the pollution, you can see the garbage, you can see the plastic that is being dumped. Now, body paragraph 2, this. Okay, again, I am adding more information here. This river is exposed to chemical and microbial contamination from different sources, the causes. Okay, one such source is untreated domestic sewage from households along the river's banks. Okay, the refuse water from households, etc., go directly into the Litani River. Another major source of pollution to the Litani is industrial sewage. Waste from industries like farms and waste from nearby farms, okay, here small factories. Waste from factories along the river are dumped into its waters. Moreover, farms dump animal carcasses. Carcasses are dead bodies of animals and other harmful bacterial and chemical waste to the river. See, now I'm showing you all the dimensions of the problem. What is causing the problem? Add to all that the thousands of visitors who go to the various parts of the river in Lebanon for recreation, to have fun, to swim, and pollute it with their carefree here means careless, attitude and behavior, throwing their garbage carelessly into the river. Okay, now my third body paragraph, what's been done, if anything, etc. This phenomena should be of major concern to the Lebanese authorities, the government, and citizens. It represents a major health hazard. According to statistics, there are around 146 farms in the Bekaa Valley that use this contaminated water to irrigate crops, to water their crops, such as wheat, potatoes, and vegetables, which end up on our plates and consequently in our systems. Another issue related to the Litani River contamination is waterborne diseases such as typhoid, hepatitis, and dysentery. In 1992, according to the Ministry of Health in Lebanon, 100 cases of typhoid were registered in Tripoli, Lebanon, as a result of contamination of the drinking water supply from sewage coming from olive oil presses. Now we are in olive season, olive oil season. When they press the olives to extract oil, whatever is left behind is dumped nowhere but into the rivers, and this is a huge source of pollution to all the rivers in Lebanon. So nothing serious is being done, okay? Nothing is done. The total absence, almost total absence of authorities, of the government, of the citizens themselves are being careless. Now, my conclusion, to conclude, the case of the Litani is one of many affected by human activities that continue to disregard, meaning have no respect to our environment's well-being. Water makes up most of our ecosystem. If we continue to abuse the available water bodies on Earth, we will end up without this vital life source. Vital means very, very important, essential. So this is it. This is how we write a case study. Of course, you're going to write your own case study in the prompt that I will give you. So see you soon. Bye.